back, and nothing really changes for our players. We're doing the same stuff. We'll keep it rolling, and hopefully we'll keep playing well.
Durant lobs it up. McKee throws it down. It's Curry. Curry off the dribble. Layup off the glass. Klay Thompson. He has found his stroke here tonight in Game 2. And Love blocked by Durant. Oh, he puts it in. Steph Curry from downtown. Golden State remains perfect. And up 2-0 in these NBA Finals.
As always, the fellas are set up in Atlanta tonight to deliver another NBA Finals film room. Rick Kamler, Greg Anthony, Mike Fratello, and Stu Jackson will have the Game 3 breakdown. That edition airs tomorrow night at 9 Eastern time. And maybe they'll be talking about Kyrie Irving helping turn the series around for the Cavaliers. This time last year, he'd scored 36 through 2 games and went off for 30 in Game 3, which the Cavaliers won by 30. Yesterday, Vince Carter stopped by, joining Brent and 3D on the floor here at the Q with some ideas on how Irving can impact this series starting tonight.
In our brief discussions, we've brought up a lot of players, but we believe for the Cavaliers to have a chance, that guy, Kyrie Irving, is going to have to find, and nothing's easy against this Golden State team, but we believe there are ways that he can get some easy opportunities that will be encouraging signs for the Cavs.
Yes, he has to get going early, and we know he's a one-on-one player, but I think the Golden State Warriors have really put that wall up on him and has him thinking, which way can I go? So I think, Vince, to all of our points we're going to show the people, if he can get the ball early, if they can get some good stops, maybe he can get into his groove.
Transition and turnovers. If the Cavs defense can get some turnovers, get out and open the court for him, he gets down in transition where the help side defense is not there, I think he can now excel, get into the paint. He's a great finisher now, and if there's a help now, he gets Korver pulling late, get Kevin Love pulling late for 3. So now I think defensively opens up their open transition.
Why don't you go to half court, Vincent? Here you go. Take that and just talk us through what it is that Kyrie's seeing, thinking about, coming up the floor, early chances.
What he's seeing, first of all, when they're scoring, it's a load.
Yep.
All right. If it's a transition opportunity where they're stealing the ball, guys are running down. You have, let's say that's Kyle Korver, let's say Kevin Love. Right. LeBron running on. Now he gets into his ISO situation. He has one guy break down. Now by the time their help side's here, it's either fake too late or he has his strong side here. Likewise, he's late. The big man here. Now you have Kevin Love spotting up here. So I think it's important, like we said, defensively, they just need to get their hands more active defensively. I think being at home, Game 3 is being at home in general, being active. They just need to be active, getting in the passing lanes, trying to get some easy baskets. I think that's going to really help ignite Kyrie Irving.
The biggest thing in that first 5 or 6 seconds, 3D, is the fact that the Golden State defense is not set. I mean, they're not set up. So that's maybe where he can gain advantage. You thought about another thing that might be a nice set for Cleveland in terms of putting Kyrie on the weak side. You want to talk about him being away from LeBron and the ball?
Well, first it's two situations. When he's away from the ball, he's over now. LeBron is in his little groove. You got Kevin Love in the corner. Now, my thing is, if he's over in the corner, why not let LeBron do his thing? LeBron driving to the basket. Now, how do you get to an open area over there on the floor so now you're ready to shoot? We always talk about normally they shoot in the first 6 seconds. Now the shot clock's probably at 12. Now LeBron's dribbling, JR's dribbling. Now you kick it. Now he's on the weak side of the floor. Shot clock's going down. The defense broken down. Now there's no one in there waiting on you. Now you can get into your groove. That's where I think, especially when LeBron's on the floor and LeBron's handling, he can get loose. Secondly, now Kevin Love, D-Will's on the floor. He hits. Now he's cutting through. Now guys are rotating up. Now shot clock's going down. Now you're not worried about Kyrie. Now, how many times have we seen Kyrie, late shot clock, jab, 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 then shoot the 3? Because now the defense, they went from one side of the floor to the other side of the floor. Now the discipline gets a little bit shorter. I think he can get looser that way.
It's always interesting that, I mean, we've played long enough that sometimes really good coaches know that the most dangerous spot your most dangerous offensive player can be in is away from the basketball. If they have LeBron James on the post or Kev Love playing on the post, to put the best offensive player without the dribble on the spot up after a couple of passes and then attacking those kind of closeouts, Vince, that causes all kinds of problems.
He's a great finisher. He has the ability to attack closeouts, even the top foot, or just go right by them. So I think it's something they should use. I even like putting LeBron at the mid post. Now they can't double him. Now when you get in those situations, you have a Kyrie Irving or you have a Kevin Love here. So now when he gets in there, either LeBron just powers in there, or now the help, he moves him up, Kyrie gets free. It's all about just giving him opportunity to catch on the move sometime instead of just always seeing a wall like you said earlier.
Super familiar territory when you talk about that, Vince. My mind immediately goes back to playing Dirk Nowitzki at the top of the key in Dallas under Rick Carlisle, who you know that system well. But it's impossible to double team a guy like LeBron up there where he's got options, because all the defense is coming where his eyes can see. And if Kyrie's the guy that's the beneficiary of the first pass out of that double team, boy, he's got all kinds of options.
Absolutely, and that's something that they're doing with KD as well. They put him in the pick and roll. You get the switch, but where's the switch? Right here in the middle of the floor. You have a decision. You hope he misses, or you have to double. And I think that's something that Cleveland should kind of go back to.
The last thing, 3D, that might be effective, Steve Smith will love that I'm saying this, is kind of the 1-2 pick and roll, which he ran a lot with Mookie in Atlanta time. But Kyrie and LeBron playing out of that pick and roll could cause some immediate mismatch.
I think when in doubt, real quick, guys, let's go to it and show them how it is. I'm going to let you handle. You come handle. Actually, no, you be LeBron, you be Kyrie. I'm going to be the spot-up shooter so people can see the spacing on the floor. This is the 3-1 pick and roll. Kyrie's setting the screen now. LeBron's turning the corner. Kyrie's popping back. You got Kevin Love, Kyle Korver. How do you slow this play down when you put your best two players in the pick and roll? Now you make the defense think right away. If I make one mistake, Kyrie three. Another mistake, LeBron to the basket for a dunk. Last mistake, you have a shooter in the corner.
And then let's add to that real quick, sorry to cut you off, is the better the screen, the more he will be open.
Yes.
And you're putting the pressure on Steph, having the guard LeBron James coming downhill.
Yes.
Now he has a decision. If he gets the ball off immediately, just like as the 4 or 5, they set the best screens, and as they know, if I set a good screen, I'm open. You get Kyrie there again. Catch on the move. He finishes with the best of them.
And then Kyrie's got one side of the floor to go to work on Draymond Green, Kevin Durant. Maybe these are the kind of things, guys, that get the Cavaliers, and especially Kyrie, from crawling to walking, walking to running, and running to maybe their first victory in the series. We'll see what happens.
All right, guys, thank you very much. What?
You know, first of all, I love the way I can guard Barry and D. Scott myself, number one, even today. And they talk about this is how you stop Kyrie and LeBron and all these guys. Man, these guys are the best players in the world. It's a lot easier said than done.
Well, they're trying to find ways to get him going, get Kyrie Irving going in this series.
Well, but that goes back to what we were talking about earlier. That's why the Cavs got to play fast. They probably got 2 of the 4 best players fast break-wise in the world. I mean, it's probably Kyrie, LeBron, Steph, and KD. They got to play fast. So they just got to play faster. They just got to play smarter. That's not their problem.
Matt,
go ahead.
One time in college, I went to Coach Brown's office and I said, Coach Brown, I can't get going. And he looked at me and said, get yourself going, get your ass out of my office. Kyrie got to get himself going. No excuses. You got to go out there, you play. You got to play fast. I know they're shrinking the floor on you, so, get to your spot. They double, triple, kick it out, make the right play. But, a lot of times, these guards that have handles, sometimes they do too much.
Right.
Like they cross over, and then instead of just going straight to the basket, they want to come back. And, you give the defense a chance to react. So play fast, play smart, and use that ability. Because guess what? Nobody can guard Kyrie Irving one-on-one either.
Well, that's a point that they made.
I thought you were going to say that one time you went to class at LSU.
that was a point that they made in that segment, was about Kyrie Irving being decisive. So in other words, you can play ISO basketball, but you don't have to stand there for 6 or 7 seconds and let the defense stare at you to do it.
Well, yeah, but Golden State is the 1 or 2 second best team defensively in the league. So a lot of ISO ball doesn't work. So you need to go quick. Just standing there 8 dribbles like Shaq said, no, that's not it. You have to attack. The pick and roll with Kyrie Irving is one of the hardest to stop. As Chuck just said, the fast break is so hard to stop. But I want to ask you this, Shaq, being that you won championships and played with like a number 2. Tonight, if you were LeBron, do you say anything Or if you're you, do you say anything to Kyrie? Or with Kobe, with Flash, you already knew that they were coming with it because they were at different points of their career?
I had the Charles Barkley mentality. Say, guys, follow me tonight. Get it to me. Follow me tonight. I already know you know how to play. You're a great player, so no speech is going to help you. Get yourself going, but follow me tonight. I'm going to set the tone tonight. And then, usually when the leaders lead, the followers always follow. Sacramento, they always, roll on your back. Barkley was the same way. But, as far as having conversations with those guys, I never really had to say much. They never really had to say much.
Do you think Bron has to say something to Kyrie?
No, LeBron's got to say, guys, get on. Let's go.
Yeah.
And they're going to follow, especially at home. And listen, I think Kyrie's going to play better. I think Kevin's going to do his thing too. Really, why LeBron has to set the whole thing tonight is because that'll get them other guys on the bench going. Yeah. But like I say, you're down 2-0. You're in the finals. Yeah. If you lose this game, it is over. No team is ever going to come back from 3-0 in the NBA. But this is obviously a must-win. They got to get started fast because you can't play from behind against the Warriors. Because like I say, they got 3 guys that can hit 3 threes in a row so fast, and you're like, oh my goodness, we were down 2, now we're down 12, 14, 15 points. They're the best spurt ability of any team I've ever seen in the NBA. Like another team might get together a bunch of fast break points and things like that, but with those 3 guys, the way they shoot the basketball, it's one of the most impressive things I've ever seen.
Finals record 18 threes in Game 2. The Cavaliers put Steph Curry in, I believe it was 13 pick and rolls in Game 1. Less of that in Game 2. Are they making him work hard enough on the defensive end of the floor?
No, they are not. He's a little guy, doesn't have a lot of muscles. If I was Cleveland Cavaliers, I'd touch him up on every play. You got to touch him up on every play, make him feel it. Him and Durant, they're just out there roaming around playing free basketball. Chuck mentioned earlier that LeBron has to put more pressure on Kevin Durant. I know those guys are great scorers, but you know how you defend against a great scorer? You got to make him play some defense. Yeah. You just can't let these guys come down, high kick, shoot threes.
Yeah, and if I told you the 2 adjustments I make, I put LeBron in the post, but on Steph, I tell JR and Shumpert, I say, hey, if either one of you guys finish this game with less than 5 fouls, I'm gonna put you in the kangaroo court. Just beat the hell out of him every chance you get. Use all 6 of your fouls. Worst case scenario, they got the little kid. They bring somebody out to bench. Hey, just beat the hell out of Steph. Try to wear him down.
Who did that last year? Sorry, because
Dellavedova.
Yeah. I mean, you got to put wood on him. Use your fouls. Use them smartly. But hey. There's guys I played with.
Well, they used him. He was 14 of 14 from the free throw line in Game 2.
No, but I'm just talking the physicality. I played with a couple guys who I really liked a lot, and they used to say, hey, I'm here to get 6 fouls. I'm not giving up any layups. If you tell me who you want me to slow down, and if I'm Smith, especially if he's not hitting shots. Same thing with Amon Shumpert. I might even put Dante Jones out. Hey, you just use 6 fouls on Kevin Durant. Because LeBron's going to need a break because he's got to score 30 and try to guard Durant. So you say, hey, you know what? Go out there, just lean on him, hit him every chance you get. That's all you can do against guys like that.
This kind of goes back to the notion of trying to ugly up this series.
Yes, they got to.
Yeah, they got to. And I think the main thing is what Chuck and Shaq keeps reiterating is we know you can score. We know you're really good, but you're going to have to deal with me on that other end, and let's see who gets tired first. Let's see who imposes their will first. But you got to be physical with Curry. How you do it, you got to do it.
If they lose this game, it'll be like striking midnight. And hey, ugly work around midnight.
I don't even know what that means, but
it does. But it's true.
It's true. I can only guess, and I'm not going to.
Hey, the later it gets, ugly work.
So there you have it. Words of wisdom from Charles Barkley.
That's Ebonics, man.
Ahead of Game 3.
That's true. It's true.
I knew. Coming up here, Kevin Durant with David Aldridge on the championship. He's 2 wins away from getting.
Do you allow yourself to get excited about how close you are?
It's hard to not get excited.
To be honest, I mean, that's just human nature, but it's on me as a player, as a person, to rein myself in and realize that the task is nowhere near done.